next week.
The BBC's Laura Koonsberg. Time now for our weekly confab, and this weekend it is Father's Day.
But we're wondering just what does that mean to you and what should a modern dad look like?
Behold the healing powers of grape flavoring.
Where's Mom? Some people took her.
Drink this. Listen, guys, your mom is taking on more responsibilities outside of the house, but don't you worry. Good old... Oh, my goodness!
Ow!
I'm so sorry!
You punched me! Dad, you gave me the drowsy kind.
So I don't think we need to say anything more because that has absolutely wrapped it up. Joining us with their thoughts are Weekly Times editor Ed Gannon and fresh from Utopia comedian and sports presenter Limo.
Hello.
Have you ever done that? Is that like your house at times?
I feel like that sometimes that camera's in our house when I see that and the sorts of things we do.
I had recently, our son is 3 and he often gets into bed with us, and my wife sometimes gets out of the bed and climbs into his bed. It's not uncomfortable. Well, the other morning I was in bed with him and he moves around a lot and he just went clean off.
Oh, no.
And I hear a thump and then I went, oh, God, what's happened here? Because my wife comes and blames me.
Of course. It's always the dads, right?
Yes.
It's always the dads.
I had a similar...
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Similar experience years ago. My oldest son's now 20, but when we only had him, he was the... I think he's probably about 2 or so. We were walking down the street. I put him on my shoulders and didn't see the tree that was coming.
Oh, no.
And whacked him. And I wasn't very popular. Not from him, but from my wife.
Yes, what a bad dad. Don't forget, you can also join us on Facebook and Twitter as well. The concept of modern dad, perhaps a shout out to your dad ahead of Father's Day. I'd like to get to as many of those as well.
I want to, there's been a survey that's been done, guys. I just want to run it past you because it was about the fact that most fathers believe that they're judged too harshly.
Case in point.
Yeah. 52% reported receiving negative feedback about their parenting style, while 90% thought they were doing a pretty good damn job.
Where's the feedback coming from?
Well...
From your partner?
Yes. Yeah. I find that in theory, the expectations on modern dads are very high, but in reality, they're very low. Because whenever I get something right, I get a really patronising, oh, look at you doing a thing and getting it right. Whenever my wife goes away, she asks me 35 times if I'm sure I'm okay. I'm like, babe, he's not going to die in the next 24 hours under my care, OK?
He might
it's all
fall
good.
off the bed, but he's not going to die.
He's going to be fine.
Jennifer says on Facebook, thank you, my sons are both modern-day dads. Both they and their wives share the burden of income earning. In my younger son's case in particular, his wife is a true career woman, while my son has opted for the steady, not heady job, which sounds fantastic. And Trevor says, fatherhood, modern or otherwise, has never changed. The most important thing is spending nearly all of your free time with your family. And Ed, as a working dad, do you find striking that, with a fairly big job, do you find that striking that work-life balance a bit difficult?
I do. I mean, I would say that my wife's carried the burden, most of the burden of raising the kids as when they were younger or whatnot. But I mean, I think you get to the weekends, you've got to spend a lot more time. Like, I spend a lot more time with my kids at things like sports things and whatnot than my father ever did. But my father was on a farm and he works 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. But I think that's changed. There's sort of more an expectation that the father on the weekend is the time that... Not you have to do it, but you are out there doing it.
Indeed.
I'm a comedian, so I'm home a lot. My son gets sick of me. In fact, his latest line is sometimes when I try and hang out with him, he'll say, Daddy, go away. OK, I'll give you some space.
Angie says, I look at school pickups and there are just as many dads as mums there.
Yeah, that's changed a bit.
Dads rock. Do you do school pickup?
Well, we're daycare, and here's an interesting one for you. So we used to get the tram to daycare when our son was 2. I had a 100% strike rate of people standing up for me on the tram, holding a 2-year-old. People would always stand up. Oh yeah, here you go. Like look at this bloke struggling with a kid. My wife holding him. About a 50% at best strike rate of people standing up for her, and we found that a very bizarre a thing to happen, that people wouldn't stand up for her like they did for me.
Yeah, I find it bizarre too, Limo, just quietly. Hey, just picking up on your point, do you find with modern dads, for want of a better expression, there's more pressure these days compared to, say, in your dad's day on trying to be all things to all people, try and find that balance?
No, I don't think there's no more pressure. Having said, I don't know what the pressure was back then because I wasn't a dad back then. But
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more pressure. It's just different. I mean, it's, you know, your kids, particularly my kids are teenagers and a 20-year-old. I mean, you sort of got to realise that they've seen everything and they know everything and a lot more than what we ever did. So you sort of your role's a bit different. It's a bit more guiding role than teaching role.
That's a good point.
Because they actually, that thing they have in front of them all the time tells them everything and teaches them everything.
And of course, they know everything as well.
Oh,
as a
yeah.
result.
Don't worry about that.
Children.
Yeah.
Do you read much to sort of, how to be a modern dad, or are you just winging it?
I'm absolutely winging it.
You do winging it very well.
I've been winging my life. I plan roughly 1 to 2 days in advance maximum. So I definitely wing it, but I just hang out with him a lot and try and have fun with him. And as long as we're doing that, I feel as though that's a good baseline at which to start. Because I think back to my childhood, and I've got 4 siblings, and Dad played a disciplinary role, and that was about it, really. But that was, Dad's back then.
Yeah.
I mean, and his main disciplinary role was via Mum, because she would say, wait till your father
Wait till
gets
your
home.
father gets home, yeah.
I'm not
Yeah, that's it.
my wife is more the disciplinarian, and I think that's the modern one. The father's not nowadays. I don't think.
Yeah,
not as much as.
You're the good cop, are you?
Well, I try to be, but it's my wife's more worried about the untidy room and late to school and that sort of thing. And sort of, I not miss it, but I don't have that disciplinarian thing, which I think our parents probably did. Our fathers probably did.
Yeah, I'm a massive softie as well.
Yeah.
He will get away with absolutely anything.
Lyndall says, I'm in my 50s and modern-day dads play with their kids more these days, and that's better for everyone. Bernie says, I'm about to become a father again at 59. Congratulations,
Go, Bernie.
Yes. Stock up on the sleep, my friend. I'll let you know how it goes, and I'm sure it'll go very well for you.
Yeah.
So it's a fascinating conversation how the role of dads have changed over the years.
I don't think it's just dads, actually. I think even granddads are more involved in a way that granddads of the past may not have been. Whether you want to call it the modern movement but it is. I think it comes down to that engagement and involvement.
Definitely more engaged and definitely more hands-on as well.
Sometimes they don't want to be.
Sometimes
hey, grandparents, can you look after our child?
they give it back immediately. They're a very handy babysitter, though.
Yeah.
Very handy.
Someone once, a former next-door neighbour once told me that complained about their parents-in-law as grandparents were not pulling their weight. Ooh. Because that was the expectation that they should be doing a certain amount of chores.
Gee, that's brave.
Yeah, yeah.
An observation I've made about the modern dad is that, and dads never used to say this because it never used to have this impact, but kids bring you a lot of joy.
Yep.
And no one will argue with that. They bring you a lot of joy.
do.
But at the same time, they remove every other source of joy from your life. So my golf game's gone to hell since my son was born, but it never had an impact on my dad's golf game.
Well, you know what, Limo, Rolly, Ed, have a great Sunday. Happy Father's Day to
Thank
the
you.
three of you.
Thank you.
I hope you get to play some golf. I hope you get to do whatever you want to do. And
Breakfast in
lauded and
bed, a
adored.
big sleep in, every wish is my command. Just the other way around.
I'm on a plane.
Oh, you're on a
plane?
Yeah, 9
Well.
a.m. on Sunday, I'm on a plane overseas.
Switch,
Oh, right.
switch the phone off.
So some people would say that's a dream Father's Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Father of the Year, Ed Gannon.
Hey, guys, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Okay.
One
Take it
nation,
away.
one nation.